Hello everybody, this is Glenda and Buster with AKA GK Fralin, a friendly community. And our friendly community welcomes you. Tonight, we're finally going to read one of those stories from the last set of elements that we set up. First, I want to thank everybody for their patience in the last couple of days. Sometimes you do something and you just don't know what you've done to cause it. I was drying off after a bath and somehow I did something to my neck. And then when I tried to rub it out with my fingers, it just pinched that nerve all the way down. And I couldn't hardly stand up the next day. I couldn't hardly sit up the next day. So thank you for being patient. Right? Right. They're good people. Yes, they are. And a while back, we were talking about the need for volunteering and how we need to start teaching kids young to do things that they just volunteer to do out of the kindness of their heart. They don't have to, have anything for it or anything. They just, in order to teach them good citizenship. Anyway, so we came up with what I call elements. And the first one was to be a name. And then the age of a child, somewhere between 10 and 18. And something for them to volunteer to do. And a problem they would run into. So tonight's is Carla's, and she said the name is Julie, age 16. She is going to the grocery store for a recovering accident victim, and she must pick up a ripe melons and a lean roast. Here's Julie's errand for Ms. Franklin. 16-year-old Julie pulled into her driveway after school one day in early May. Instead of going into her house, she walked to her neighbor, Ms. Franklin's home, and knocked on the door. Her neighbor worked at home teaching piano and voice lessons so that she could be home for her toddler, Jeffrey. Julie respected the single mother for her hard work and commitment to her son. The woman had adopted the little one after his mother and father were killed in a plane crash. The teen knocked on the neighbor's door. "Come in, Julie," she heard Ms. Franklin call. Julie opened the door and found the 30-something mother on the floor with her little boy playing with blocks. Ms. Franklin's right leg in a cast almost to the knee. "Are you okay down there? Can you get up?" Julie asked, smiling. The child laughed as his mother knocked over a stack of blocks. "Oh, yes, I'm fine. I just can't drive until they take this big cast off and fit me with something I can walk on. Breaking one ankle bone would have been bad enough. But I had to break both. Darned ladder anyway. I guess I'll pay someone to paint the house next time." Ms. Franklin looked at her son. "Jeffrey, say hi to Julie." The 2.5-year-old ran to her and wrapped his arms around her legs. "Hi, Julie, come play." Julie sat on the floor and picked up some blocks. "What can I do for you today, Ms. Franklin?" "For one thing, call me Linda. I've lived here for 6 months and you've known me almost the whole time." "You're making me feel old," she laughed. "Okay, Linda, what can I help you with today?" "Believe it or not, even with this boogered up leg, I have a date tomorrow. A friend and her husband are bringing his brother over to meet me. I want to make a great meal." She looked at her son for a moment and then back at Julie. My friend assured me that he loves kids and doesn't mind at all that I have one. Do you need some groceries then? Yes. I thought I'd make a nice lean rib roast. I have plenty of potatoes, and I'll make gravy from scratch. I'm going to make a garden salad and thought I'd do some melon balls for an appetizer. I have an apple pie in the freezer. I'm going to bake. If you could just go to the store and get me a 3-pound lean beef rib roast and a couple of cantaloupe, I'd be grateful. I hate not being able to drive and get what I need. Wow, you must be a good cook, Julie said. I'll be glad to do that. About that time, Jeffrey brought some blocks over to Julie. Stack, please. Julie stacked about 6 of the blocks before Jeffrey knocked them down. Yay! He laughed at the destruction, and the 2 women laughed with him. Hand me my purse over there on the table beside the piano, please, Linda requested. Julie jumped up and got the large black shoulder bag. Wow, that's heavier than it looks. Linda laughed. Wait until you have kids. You carry more toys, wipes, and whatnot in your purse than anything else. Once you're past the diaper bag stage, it's a relief to carry one big purse than to lug 2 bags around. After Julie handed her the purse, she took $30 out and handed it to the teen. Boy, $30? Well, she's going to be buying a pretty big roast. Must be expensive. It is these days. I'll be back as soon as I can. Julie left the young mother, who continued to play with her son. By the time she pulled into the grocery store, the sky was already getting dark with rain clouds. She made her way back to the meats and asked the butcher for a 3-pound lean rib roast, which had to be specially cut because none of the ones in the case were big enough. While the butcher cut the meat, Julie went to the produce section. She'd watched her mother test melons for ripeness by smelling the navel, so she did the same. What's the navel? It's the part where you break it away from the stem. And you made me lose my place. She found 2 nice-looking melons that smelled ripe and started back to the meat department. Attention all shoppers and employees. A tornado warning has just been announced for our area. Please calmly go back to the back of the store to the refrigeration unit. You'll be safer in there than anywhere else in the store. Please do not try to leave. The butcher washed his hands in the sink in his work area and came around. Come on, young lady. Follow me. We'll be fine. You've been through warnings before, haven't you? Quite a few, yes, sir. Thankfully, none of them have hit us. More than likely it won't hit us this time either, the man said. The group of 11 individuals stood inside the refrigeration unit. One little girl, about 10, cried that she was getting cold, so the mother pulled her close and rubbed her shoulders. Julie had worn a lightweight cowl scarf. She took it off and handed it to the mother. It was plenty stretchy to wrap the little girl's head and shoulders. Thank you so much, the mother said. They heard a rumble, but nothing that sounded like debris falling. Marvin, the manager, had kept the radio on, and they finally heard the announcer call an all clear. When they opened the door, the store looked untouched. Phew, Marvin expounded. Then the announcer came back with the preliminary damage report. which the manager announced. "Good news, everybody. There's only some minor limb damage from winds, but there are no wires down and the roads are open. Just be careful out there. The night isn't over and we're still in a thunderstorm watch. Please finish your purchases and we'll close as soon as you can all check out. Thank you for shopping." Julie noticed the manager lock the front door so no new customers could come in. She made her way back to the meat counter where the butcher had her meat all wrapped up for her. "Thank you, sir. That scared me for a minute because I have never sheltered in a refrigerator before," she snickered. The man told her thank you and smiled, but had work to finish cleaning up, storing the remaining meats. Julie had no problem getting back to Mrs. Franklin's house with the purchases. "Thank you so much, Julie." Linda welcomed her from her chair. "I'm glad you're safe. We had to get into the bathroom. I couldn't get to the basement with these crutches." Linda seemed shaken. "Thank goodness Jeffrey went to sleep while we were in the bathroom, so he's in bed. I'll probably regret that later when he wants to play all night." "Oh," Julie sighed. "I'm just glad you knew to hide in the bathroom. We hid in the refrigeration unit at the store." Julie reached up to her neck and realized she left her scarf with the little girl, but thought if it was the most lost in the storm, she didn't mind at all. That's not so bad. She can replace that." "Yep, she can. I'll just put those groceries away for you." Linda had followed her to the kitchen. Julie put the melons and roast in the refrigerator, then turned and placed Linda's change on the table. "Thank you so very much, Julie. Please take the change. I can't give you much, but that bit isn't going to hurt me. I probably spent way too much on the roast, so I hope he's worth it." Both women laughed, and Julie replied, "I don't want anything for helping you. It was a pleasure." She started toward the door. "Let me know how it goes." "Only if you come over and help me eat the leftovers," Linda called as Julie opened the front door. "Done deal." Julie walked into her house, where her parents waited. "Hi, Mom and Dad. I got my errands for Ms. Franklin done. It sure is good to be home." Her mother called from the kitchen. "I'm glad you're okay and the tornado didn't really develop. What do you want for supper?" "How about hamburgers?" Julie laughed, knowing her mother wouldn't know why it was funny. "Enough waiting around for roast, huh?" Well, I think she just had enough of everything for one day. Just felt hamburgers enough. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope it kind of got the point across. I would really like to have more of you send in elements. Remember, for this one, it is a name, an age between 10 and 18, something that they are volunteering for, and a problem that they have to face. So, got to have some conflict in a story to make it good. That's what I've been taught. So, anyway, we hope to see you tomorrow, right? You betcha. Love you all. Good night, everybody.